justice system that many people in the room were not prepared to hear. But he told it so straight, so raw, and with such a potent mix of outrage, yet compassion and love for his people, all people, that you could hear a pin drop when he was through. And I remember him saying, no matter what I've done, no matter where I've been, I am still a man. I am a human being. He said, I am no less human than you. And this whole system depends on you forgetting that fact, forgetting my basic humanity. But you can't be fully human until you see that I am fully human too. And I deserve basic human rights, just like you. And I remember he sat down and there was silence. A long, quiet pause. And then somebody started clapping. And then nobody wanted to stop. Not long ago, I ran into an old student of mine, and she caught up with me about how she was doing. She's now a public defender, and she thanked me for the class I had taught at Stanford that helped her set on her path in life. And before walking away, she said, you know that guy you invited to class? You know that guy who went on that rant? You remember him? I said, oh yeah, I remember him. And she said, well, you know, he changed my life. And I said, yeah, he helped change my life too. I am a passionate supporter of legal services for prisoners or children because everything that it is, everything that it has done, and all that it will do is rooted in the revolutionary idea that each and every one of us, no matter who we are, where we come from, or what we've done, is worthy. Worthy of basic care, compassion, and worthy of basic human rights. Worthy of our care and concern, all of us or none. Now back in 1776, some white men got together and authored the Declaration of Independence, claiming to share the belief that all human beings, all men at least, are created equal, with certain inalienable rights, including life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It was a revolutionary idea, and it has remained a revolutionary idea. For after they penned that document, they proceeded to enslave millions. And even after the Civil War, a war to overthrow our nation's first caste system, a system that denied certain inalienable rights to millions, convict leasing was born, replacing slavery. And even then, Jim Crow was born. And so that idea remained a revolutionary idea, and it became an idea that would not die and took a life of its own. The idea that all people, including black people, former slaves, and their descendants, were fully human, entitled to certain inalienable rights, proved so revolutionary in this country, a country that professed to be the land of the free, that the FBI and COINTELPRO sought to destroy the movement and its leaders that dared to take that idea just a bit too seriously. So it remains a revolutionary idea today. In this era of mass incarceration, the basic idea, the simple idea that each and every one of us has dignity, value, it remains a revolutionary idea. We live in an age in which it's deemed perfectly appropriate to lock millions of people in literal cages, treat them worse than animals, and then upon their release, strip them of the basic civil and human rights supposedly won in the civil rights movement, like the right to vote, the right to serve on juries, the right to be free of legal discrimination in employment, housing, access to education, and public benefits. It's a time when we like to imagine that we've ended caste in America. we're well beyond that ugly racial history. Instead, of course, we've merely redesigned it. But that American dream, that ideal, sure looks good from a distance. You flip on your television set and there is Barack Obama, our nation's first black president, looking handsome, dignified, and in charge. Looks like caste is over in America. Flip the channel again and you see Michelle Obama in the backyard of the White House digging a garden. Not as a slave or a maid or a servant, but as the first lady, schooling our nation on good health and how to be good stewards of our planet. And then you flip the channel again and there's the whole Obama family descending the stairs of Air Force One, waving to the crowd, cheered by America and many around the world. But then you drive less a mile from the White House and you find the other America. Wonder, what wrong turn you might have made and how you managed to miss that promised land that would look so good from afar. A vast new undercaste now exists in America, but you won't hear about it on the evening news. Obama won't mention it, the Tea Party won't mention it, media pundits would rather talk about anything else. The members of the undercaste are largely invisible to those of us who have cars or live in decent neighborhoods and zoom around on freeways past the virtual and literal prisons in which they live. The other America. In this other America, young people are shuttled from their decrepit, underfunded schools to brand new high-tech prisons. In this other America, entire communities, entire neighborhoods defined by race and class are under correctional control, perpetual surveillance. It's an America where prisons are run for profit and where a vast new prison and industrial complex has been born. It's an America where millions of children grow up believing, really believing, that one day they too will go to jail. It's an America that holds thousands of people in indefinite solitary confinement, a form of torture. And it's an America that released Herman Wallace after 40 years in solitary for a crime he didn't commit. Released him while he was on his deathbed and tried to call it justice. This America, as Dorsey told my students so many years ago, depends for its existence on the belief that some of us are unworthy, just fundamentally unworthy of any care, compassion, and concern. So I believe that what is needed today is not mere reform or mere tinkering with the machine. What is needed is revolution. I'm talking about revolution. That moral revolution, the spiritual revolution, the revolution of values that Dr. King called for, the radical restructuring of our society that he said at the end of his life was the only way we could ever get justice. This is the revolution that was half promised in 1776, but never truly waged for all. It's a revolution that, in my mind, was truly born when the first slaves made a break for freedom and carried on this revolution throughout hundreds of years. A loving, daring, revolutionary spirit kept alive through generations, passed down over and over again, an ever-expanding idea, an idea of who is fully human, has continued to grow and expand in our consciousness. As Vincent Harding has written, a river runs through it, a river of courage, resistance, fearless truth-telling, rebellion, and organizing, a loving revolutionary spirit that has not and will never die. Some people, of course, believe that something less than a revolutionary spirit will do. Somehow we can just kind of tinker with things and get it right. And as many of you know, I was once one of those people. I had been lulled to sleep. But LSPC has never been asleep. It was founded when I was still a child. LSPC was singing songs of freedom back then, and it has never changed its tune. Its mission statement begins, "We believe in fighting racism and economic injustice as a means to ending mass incarceration. We believe in the human dignity of people in prison and recognize that they come from and are part of our communities. We believe in the right and responsibility of incarcerated and formerly incarcerated people to speak and be heard in our own voices, transform our lives and communities, and fully participate in all aspects of society. We believe in public safety and that it is achieved when all people have voice. Communities thrive and our societies are just. We believe in the equality of all people, regardless of race, sex, gender, sexual identity, national origin, religion, physical or mental ability, and age. We believe in and fight for the leadership of people most impacted by the prison industry. We believe in maintaining our core principles in our work and relationships. We believe in living the change we want to see in this world." This mission is not just the mission of an organization, but of the emerging movement to end mass incarceration.